So just a few days after the last Nintendo Direct, Nintendo actually had a meeting with their investors where investors got to ask them questions directly straight to the Nintendo president and some of the executives about how they're feeling about the Nintendo Switch, their upcoming products and games and things like that. And Nintendo basically published all of these questions and answers into a document, and people have been translating them, and there's been some pretty interesting information which has come out in regards to their next system. And while this isn't a ton of like crazy insane information about exactly what Nintendo is doing with their next system, it does kind of give you an idea for what they're kind of planning behind the scenes and how they're getting ready for that next system whenever the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's called comes out. So one of the topics that was brought up inside of this meeting was the idea of Nintendo's accounts and really the install base that the Nintendo Switch has right now. As of course, the Nintendo Switch is extremely successful. There's over 120 million of them that are out there. There's so many people who are subscribed to Nintendo Online. There's people who have their own Nintendo accounts and everything. So it's very, very important that Nintendo keeps that in mind moving to the next system, because the worst thing that Nintendo could do is they release the Nintendo Switch 2 or their next gen system and they decide to start all over again from scratch, from ground zero again, where you basically have to create a whole new account again. You basically have to start a whole new library of games, and they just completely ignore the Nintendo Switch. That would be the worst thing to do, and thankfully it doesn't seem like that's what Nintendo is thinking at all. And it really is nice to see this, because when talking about this, Nintendo's president basically did say here, right from his quote, he says, "As for the transition from Nintendo Switch to the next generation machine, we want to do as much as possible in order to smoothly transition our customers while utilizing the Nintendo account." So this is actually really nice information, because it shows you that Nintendo is aware of how successful the Nintendo Switch has been and that they have an insane install base already with this system, so they really shouldn't abandon it moving to the next system. And I feel like this really kind of indirectly also hints at the ability that we're probably going to have some backwards compatibility with the next system, so you're probably going to be able to play all of your old Nintendo Switch cartridges and your games and all of that too. And the fact that he even said here that you're going to be able to utilize your Nintendo account, I feel like they're kind of leaning towards exactly what Sony did with the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, where if you guys had a PlayStation 4, if you buy a PlayStation 5, all you got to do is just log in with your PlayStation 4 network, and you basically can get all of your games back from your PlayStation 4, and you can just download them again. You can put your PS4 discs into your PS5 and start playing them that way. It's very seamless and very easy, and your same account just transfers over, so it's very easy to be able to switch from the PS4 to the PS5, and I feel like that's the exact same type of thing that Nintendo wants to do moving to the Nintendo Switch 2, that they don't want you to have to create new accounts and new usernames and basically not be able to bring over all your games and everything. So this is really nice, and I'm sure they're going to try to do that with the online service as well. They're probably going to build upon Nintendo Switch Online, or maybe they're just going to call it like Nintendo Online, because if the next system isn't called like a Switch, or if something else, if it's not branded as a Switch, it could be called something else. But yeah, I think that this is pretty cool, because it also means that you're probably going to be able to bring over like the Nintendo Switch Online classic games. So like right now we have like the NES games and the SNES games and Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance and N64 games and all of that. So I feel like you're probably just going to be able to bring all of that over to the next system as well. You're probably just going to be able to log in, download all of them and keep playing. Maybe even bringing over all your save data. I'm sure that's going to be possible too. So you're going to be able to transfer all your save data from your games over to the next system. And I feel like this is all very, very good. So it's going to be really nice that you're going to be able to do that very seamlessly. And I'm sure Nintendo has learned their lesson about how to do this correctly with the marketing too, because they tried to do something similar to this with the Wii U, where it was really cool because they talked about how the Wii U was backwards compatible with the Wii, and you were going to be able to play all of your old Wii games on it, because Nintendo was aware at the time too that the Wii was an insanely successful system, and they wanted to have that same type of momentum with the Wii coming to the Wii U. Unfortunately, the marketing for the Wii U was just so terrible that whenever they showed it in ads and everything, they just kept showing the gamepad, which of course the gamepad was the cool part about the Wii U, but that wasn't the actual system. They kept saying controller, they kept saying this is the new controller and all of that, and it just kind of sucked, because while that was the new controller, it made people think that it was a new controller that was just an add-on to the Wii, as they never really showed this part here, which is the actual brand new Wii U console. They never really showed that this is the next generation console right here. They just kept showing the gamepad in all the trailers and ads, which made people think that it was just a tablet that you could buy for your Wii. So unfortunately that sucked, because it was actually really cool what they did with the Wii U that I really enjoyed. Was they talked about how like all of your existing Wii remotes and stuff like that could work on their next system system too. So I found that really cool because I had a couple of Wii remotes and nunchucks and all of that just lying around at home from having my original Wii, and being able to just use those original Wii motes and all of that again on the Wii U and just have it instantly connect and being able to play right away on there was awesome, and I really liked that. So it would be cool if they do something like that again too, maybe where your existing Pro controller for the Switch or maybe your Joy-Cons and things like that can just seamlessly click and work with the next system too, and they have like new ones that come out, maybe like Switch 2 Joy-Cons and all of that as well. I think they could definitely make it work. Now, in regards to the availability of the next system, the Nintendo president also talked about that too, where he said here in this quote, "With regards to resale measures when launching new hardware, we recognize that the most important thing is to first produce and ship in numbers that can meet customer demand. We will then consider whether there are any other possible measures that can be taken." So this is cool because it shows that they're kind of aware that when new Nintendo hardware does come out, a lot of people are very interested in it. And I remember even when the Nintendo Switch first came out in 2017, it was pretty difficult to find one. Like within the first like 3 or so weeks, I would say, when it came out, if you didn't pre-order like back in January and stuff when they were going up on like Best Buy and GameStop and all of that, it was really hard to buy a Nintendo Switch on launch day, and some people couldn't even find them until like April when Mario Kart came out for that. So I really hope that the next system, the Nintendo Switch 2, they make a lot of these systems so that they are available and you can just walk into stores and be able to get them really easily, because of course we all know what happened with the PS5 when that came out in 2020. It was ridiculous to try to get one. People were like trying so hard on websites and staying up at night, and it was just really kind of crazy to try to get one. I am really hoping that that doesn't happen with the Switch 2, where it's just extremely hard to get the next Nintendo system and people are just waiting, and it's all over the place and you have to have all these bots that you're following, and just it will be a mess. So I really hope that they do take the right actions to making sure that they produce enough of them and that everybody is able to get that system who does want to have one early. But yeah, with this information, it does make me excited about the next Nintendo system because it shows that Nintendo is aware of how important it is that they have a huge install base with the Nintendo Switch, and merging over the Nintendo accounts that we have right now to the next system is very important. So hopefully that means that you are going to be able to play all of your Switch 1 games on it, and you're going to be able to like bring over your downloaded games and your save data and all of that too, and that it's looking like that Nintendo is going to be taking measures to making sure that they produce enough of their next system so that when there is new hardware, there hopefully is enough of them so that everybody is able to get one who wants one. So yeah, it's just looking pretty nice, and I mean the fact that they are talking about this now, hopefully it does mean that the Nintendo Switch 2 and their next system is just around the corner. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, as well as I am going to be talking more about Nintendo and their next system and all of that very soon. But also let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments down below as well. How do you guys feel about the Nintendo president's comments about the Nintendo account and bringing that over to their next system and producing enough of them so that there aren't shortages? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.